Hi friends, welcome back to Dust Not Included. My name's Roy and today we're going to the Goodwill in Warwick, Rhode Island. Lots of new items have been posted to my eBay store. A link is in the description below. Next week, Janice and I will be live right here on my channel for a vintage variety sale. Heading in, I was excited about what I might find. However, the first end cap was a little depressing. There was barely anything on it. I headed over into the figurine section. The shelves looked packed. However, when I got in and took a closer look, I really couldn't find anything. Maybe I missed something. You guys let me know. Did I miss something on these shelves? One thing I did notice were these woven trivets. They had 3 of them in one pack. I thought the colors were really nice and the different patterns. Right next to the figurine section was the holiday section. Again, more packed shelves, but not anything I was looking for. On the back wall, I noticed this brightly colored recipe box. I actually have one very similar to this listed in my eBay store. I would have picked this one up as well, but it seemed to have some damage. There were some dents and a lot of rusting. The one I have listed isn't like that. Look how pretty it is. I decided I wouldn't pick this one up. On the next end cap at the top, I noticed this canister. It had wheat on it. They were asking $3.99. I kind of liked that. I checked out this creamer, which turned out to be Avon. They had these cute little cake salt and peppers. However, they were a little damaged as well. Geez, what's this Goodwill doing? Turning the corner, I was in the vase aisle. I did notice these blue candle holders, but on closer inspection I could tell that they were flashed. They were asking $1.99 each for them. On the very bottom shelf here, I noticed this plate tucked under all of these items. They were asking $2.99 for it. It was a bicentennial plate. I was debating about it, so I decided to look it up. It looks like it sells for about $12.95. It was a hard choice, but I did leave it behind. Well, as you can tell, we're in the metal aisle now. The first thing I noticed was this trivet. It was cast iron and like a stained glass. They were asking $2.99 for it. But it doesn't appear to be selling very high. Next to it was this mirror. I thought it was a really pretty mirror. They were asking $2.99 for it as well. However, when I turned it over, I could tell it was all warped. Well, over in the wood aisle, there were packages of these jewelry boxes. They were asking $1.99 for each pack, and I could use these to ship jewelry, so I decided to pick a few up. Above that, I noticed this Italian tray. Look how beautiful with all of that gold and that painted floral in the middle. It was just too pretty to leave behind. I ended up finding another one tucked on the shelf. However, this one wasn't in as good of condition. They were asking $2.99 for it. Below that was this jewelry box. I did like the wood inlay on top. It did turn out to be more of a modern piece, and it was kind of scratched up. This would have been a score for someone who likes to do sewing. Look at all of this yardage. And on the top shelf, I noticed this print here. It was a foil picture. I thought it was really pretty. However, when I closely examined it, it looked like it had lots of folds and creases to it. Well, they were asking $4.99 for this one, and with all of the damage, I decided I wasn't going to pick it up, even though it was selling for about $20 in better condition. Look at this neat piece. It's a cornbread pan, and you get to make cornbread in the shape of corn. That's really neat. Not only would it be fun to use, but to display, so that's what made me pick this up today. Well, I turned around to check out the mugs. Do any pop out to you as being something interesting? I decided to check out this Spectrum Halloween mug. I know it was more of a modern piece, but I thought it was really interesting. I liked the black and white with the pop of the orange. When I looked it up, there were a lot listed, but I couldn't find any solds. However, others in that brand seem to be selling pretty well. So I'll keep my eye out for those instead. I definitely thought this basket was cute. However, it looked like somebody had painted it. Right behind it was this clown. Oof, look at this guy. And on the bottom shelf, I checked out this pumpkin platter. It looked like it had a bunch of little chips on it, so unfortunately that little festive plate stayed behind. Leave a comment below. I'd love to know what type of items you never pass up. This little brass set was interesting. They were asking $3.99 for it. It had a tray with 4 other pieces, maybe candle holders and an incense burner. And tucked in the back of the shelf here, hiding, was this adorable lamp planter. It was by Napco. Look at the cute eyes on this guy and the little flowers around their head. Oh geez, they were asking $14.99 for it. That's about full retail. And this one appears to have a few little chips on it. And then in the back here I noticed another adorable piece, so I had to dig my way to get it out, and it was a spoon rest in the shape of a lamb. Again, on closer inspection, it had lots of little chips around the edges. It was made in Japan and they were asking $3.99. I think if I was going to keep it for myself, that was a good price. I also noticed this McDonald's glass. It is Robin from the Batman series. They were asking $4.99 for it. I decided to look it up really quick, and they sell for about $14. On the very bottom shelf here, I saw these martini glasses. Look how pretty they are in all of their different colors. They were asking $7.99 for the set of 6. Did I make a mistake not picking these up? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Well, it was turning out to be a theme today. Very densely packed shelves, but not anything I was looking for. On the other side of the aisle, I moved away these plates and this bowl to find this divided dish. It is a pink depression divided dish. These can be quite useful. They were asking $5.99 for this. They typically retail anywhere around $12 to $20. I thought this little bowl was adorable. It's a children's bowl. The images were a little faded, but aren't they adorable? It had a nice silver plate rim to it as well. They were asking $5.99 for this bowl. In perfect condition, it was selling for about $20, but in damaged condition, it was selling around $8. This piece here was also chipped up, so it stayed behind. Well, someone was pretty athletic. Look at all of their trophies. Well, I decided to take a quick trip through the back of the store before moving on to the pictures. Well, it looks like somebody has their artwork here. I didn't see too much on the shelves that I had to pick up. These were kind of interesting. They were patriotic little wood plaques, but one of them was a little damaged. You can also find me over on District on both Vamp and Knickknack marketplaces. If you use the code DustKnow80, you can get $5 off your first purchase on District. Well, I'm going to do a quick scan down the aisles to make sure I didn't miss anything, and then I'm going to check out. Don't forget, every Thursday at 6:30, Jen and I have a live sale. We rotate channels. This week we won't be having one, but you can find us next week right here on my channel. Well, it looks like I lost track of time and it got dark out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day.